All right, Carla, thank you for joining us today. And how is it going with your behind-the-scenes photos and celebrations?
Yeah, good. I mean, I quite enjoy these days. I know some people don't, but yeah, I suppose it's my kind of thing. But yeah, all good. Yeah, it's nice to be back in this environment and obviously be back with the girls and everything. So, yeah.
And exciting because this year, obviously, these photos and video clips are going to be going out for the WSL.
Yep. I mean, hopefully we'll see many celebrations and celebration videos and everything for scoring some goals. But yeah, extra exciting, I think, now being part of the WSL again and back where we belong.
So has the celebrations been anything that you've thought about before today? Have you been planning them, prepping them at home?
No, do you know what? I actually haven't. I should have been doing them in the mirror, shouldn't I? No, just, whatever comes off on the day. Yeah, I'm sure if we're scoring some goals, there'll be some rogue ones coming out in the season.
Just a natural. When I spoke to Matt Beard at the end of last season, we kind of spoke about your game time, obviously from coming into the club, and he kind of said that you expect almost for your game time to increase in the WSL because it might suit your style of play better. Mm-hmm. Is that something you'd agree with? Is that something you spoke about with Matt?
Yeah, of course I hope so, and I'll do everything I can to obviously play as many minutes. And yeah, it was something that we discussed last season. I think the way the championship was, my game's obviously not. I'm trying to work on it, but I'm not the most aggressive player. You know, the games last year were very scrappy, and we did well to show our quality within that. But I'm sort of more a technical, tactical player, so I think the WSL will suit me more. And we did discuss that last year, and I think, in some of the Conti Cup games we played WSL opposition, and I think I was happy with my performance in them games. Just hopefully that's something I can bring into this season and really push on this season, because it was hard obviously last season. It was amazing being part of the team and seeing the team do well and obviously being a part of the squad, but I obviously wanted to play more minutes last season. But yeah, we had conversations and it's great work with Matt. I've worked with him before, so yeah, I have full trust in what he's doing. So.
We often hear about players setting targets and goals for the season. Have you set any based upon that?
I think first and foremost, like you said, I want to be playing more minutes this season. So I think from what comes from there, but I want to be making an impact in games and adding assists and goals to my game when I'm playing. So yeah, that's my main focus at the moment.
And obviously right now, the obvious question here is about the Women's Euros and how that's been. Have you been able to get to any games? Have you been watching them on telly? And how's that been for you as a women's footballer? How would that have been if you were a little girl now watching that on TV? What would that have meant to you?
Oh, it's been amazing. I went to the England-Austria game, the first game at Old Trafford, and I actually got goosebumps, not even kidding, to see that many people obviously in the stadium. I think, was it 68,000 or something, there to watch a women's game, and the atmosphere was amazing. It's not something you obviously get regularly at women's games. Hopefully it can become more of a regular thing. But yeah, to see England doing so well and inspiring so many girls, I mean, yeah, it would have meant a lot to me, and seeing obviously what these women are doing. When I was younger, I watched some of the games, but they weren't that accessible. I think the visibility is massive at the moment, and so many young girls and young boys are obviously watching the games, which is amazing. Because I think that will do so much for the women's game. But yeah, and I think it inspires us. We're going into the WSL next season. Who knows if we do well? Some of us could be in that team. We don't know.
And is that something that you and the girls maybe speak about then with the attendance? Is it hoping that will translate into higher attendances this season?
Yeah, definitely. It's something we've been speaking about in training, how great it is to see so many people going to the women's games. And I hope that, people of Liverpool can maybe more inclined to come to our games now, after watching the Euros, think, I'm going to support the women. Maybe if they support the men, support the women too. Or I know they support the women, but come to our games a bit more if they can. Yeah, it's definitely something that we spoke about and that we're hopeful for.
And if there was somebody out there that's never been to a women's game before, what would be your one message to them?
I think just come and give it a go and try it. I think the women's game is really special. I think especially with the fans, the fans have not more access to us, but after the game, the men don't always have time to go and interact with all the fans that come to the game. Obviously, not a lot of the men's team have that. But with the women's game, we have a bit more time, and obviously we don't have as many fans to go and interact with. So I think we make sure that's a really important part of our game. So yeah, I think the women's game is improving. I think even watching from the Euros a couple of years ago, the speed of play is better and quicker, and I think the women's game is just getting more and more exciting.
And I don't know if you know, but Anfield is going to host the Merseyside derby here at the end of September. So Liverpool against Everton in the international break for the men's team. Yeah. So is that something that the girls will be absolutely buzzing for?
Do you know what? I didn't know that.
There you go.
But that's so nice to hear, yeah. And the girls will be absolutely buzzing, I'm sure. When everyone finds that out, that's just something you dream of, isn't it? To like walk out Anfield and play at Anfield. So, yeah, it'll be amazing.
Last time that there was the Merseyside derby here, it was 28,000. So we've got to look to try and get more than that, right?
Yeah, I think so, and hopefully with the Euros, people will be more inclined to come and want to come and support us. But yeah, let's definitely try and beat that. We can beat that for sure. I mean, that is an amazing crowd, but yeah.